We are at video number 39. The student is asking a question. If the same divine self lives in all beings, why don't people act the same way? Why do some show kindness while others show cruelty? The teacher replies, the self in all beings is indeed one, pure, unchanging, untouched by anything. But people do not act from that self. They act from their mind, their senses, and their conditioning. But people do not act from that self. They act from their mind, their senses, and their conditioning. Just as the same sun is reflected differently in calm water and in disturbed water, the one self shines differently through different minds. When the mind is peaceful, virtues appear. When the mind is clouded, confusion and harmful actions arise. The difference is not in the self, but in the mind that expresses it. The student is asking another question. If the self is pure and all knowing, why is the mind so clouded? The teacher replies, because the mind carries layers of impressions. The Gita calls them gunas. There are three gunas: sattva, clarity, wisdom, purity; rajas, desire, restlessness, ambition; tamas, ignorance, laziness, confusion. Every person acts according to the mixture of these three forces. Think of them like three colors. Every mind has a different combination, and so every action looks different. The pure self is the same everywhere, but the color of the mind changes how one behaves. The student is asking another question. But if the self is the same and God is just, why is there injustice, pain, and suffering in the world? But if the self is the same and God is just, why is there injustice, pain, and suffering in the world? The teacher replies, suffering arises not from the self, but from ignorance of the self. When people forget their true nature, they become trapped in desires, fears, anger, greed, pride, attachments. These lead to injustice and suffering. The Gita explains that ignorance covers wisdom, just as smoke covers fire or dust covers a mirror. When wisdom is covered, actions become misguided and suffering is born, both for oneself and for others. But when the ignorance is removed, the same person can shine with great goodness. So suffering is not a punishment. The teacher replies, no, suffering is a teacher, not a punishment. It pushes the human being to ask deeper questions. Who am I? What is my duty? What truly matters? Many people begin their spiritual journey Only when life shakes them awake. Pain often opens the door that comfort kept closed. The student is asking another question. If ignorance is the cause of suffering, what is the cure? The teacher replies. The Gita gives three powerful paths. Number one, knowledge. Jnana Yoga, understanding your true self beyond body and mind. Number two, action. Karma Yoga, performing your duties without selfishness. Number three, devotion. Bhakti Yoga, offering your actions, your heart, and your life to the divine. Any one of these paths, or a blend of them, removes ignorance and allows the light of the self to shine brilliantly. The student is asking another question. If the world is full of suffering and confusion, what should I do? How can I help? The teacher replies, begin with yourself. A single lamp can light thousands of lamps without losing its own flame. When you purify your own mind through right understanding, right action, and right devotion, you become a source of peace, a carrier of wisdom, a shelter for others, a light in dark places. The Gita teaches that transforming yourself is the greatest service you can offer the world. When even one person lives with clarity, compassion, and courage, the world becomes brighter. The student is asking another question. Is it really possible for one person to make such a difference? The teacher replies, absolutely. A small seed becomes a mighty tree. A single candle breaks darkness. A single act of kindness can change a life. A single moment of courage can inspire generations. You do not need to change the whole world. You only need to change the direction of your own heart. Walk the path with sincerity, and your very presence will become a blessing. The student is asking another question. So, even though the self is one, our actions differ because of our mind's conditioning. And by purifying the mind, we can bring more light into the world. The teacher replies, yes, that is the heart of the teaching. The one self is the same in all, but the journey of each person is to remove the coverings and allow that divine self to shine fully. When you understand this, you stop judging others. You stop hating and you begin to serve, to love, to uplift, just as the Gita teaches. This is the highest motivation to become a light for yourself and for others. Hari Om.